Good morning, everyone. We will now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku Prayer, please stand. 高天原に関すまります。かむろぎかむろみのみこともちて、そめみおやかむいざなぎのみこと、つくしのりむかのたち花のおどのはぎはらにみそぎはらいたもうときになりませる。はらいどの神たちもろもろのまがごと積みけがれをはらいたまえ清めたまえとまおすことのよしを余つ神ふにつかみやおよろずの神たちともに雨の口駒の海に振り立ててきこしめせとかしこみもまおす。弥勒おみかみ守りたまえ先はえたまえ弥勒おみかみ守りたまえ先はえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先はえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先はえたまえくんながらたまちあえませ。かんながらたまちあえませ。Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we lead your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized with health, peace, and prosperity, our reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei.
May God the Meishu-sama bless you.
Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. I have been blessed. God has renewed my life. I must give off myself in service to express my gratitude for this wonderful blessing. Despite all the clouds accumulated on my spiritual body in the past, God, through His great love, has abundantly blessed me. God, please accept my gift, a heartfelt token of my love and devotion, insignificant in comparison to all the blessings I have received. The expression peace of mind is understood by many people only as it relates to mind. But this thinking is not accurate. Peace of mind, in truth, must include material aspects of life. After all, if we had but one of the three great misfortunes, sickness, poverty, or conflict, how could we attain peace of mind? When we can say with confidence, I have no worries of becoming sick in my entire life, and there is no chance of my being poor or of becoming involved in discord, then we can have real peace of mind. The fundamental cause of all these problems is an imbalance between one's spirit and body. Therefore, it is impossible to attain true peace of mind unless we have both a sound mind and a sound body. I hereby guarantee and declare that anybody can obtain, through receiving Johrei and practicing the teachings of our spiritual movement, a sound mind and a sound body, and eventually achieve peace of mind.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters. This morning, the faith experience I would like to share with you is from Sandra Afonso Beleque. She's from the Matola Johrei Center, Mozambique. Sandra is a Johrei member and she gives service at the Matola Johrei Center. The faith experience she would like to share with us is related to the importance of providing religious assistance in homes. She lives in the Liberdade neighborhood and together with Maria, also a member of our church. They have been visiting homes and members and regular visitors, channeling Johrei, praying and sponsoring flower arranging workshops, where she was able to live various faith experiences. She lives with her husband and two children, and their coexistence is a harmonious one. However, one day, during a conversation, her husband expressed his desire to have another child. At first, they didn't understand each other, as she didn't care about having more children since they already had two with them and one in the spiritual realm. Also, when her husband was living and working in South Africa, he met someone with whom he had a child. However, as the relationship ended in conflict, he never wanted to know about that family again, and many years had passed. Thus, she asked her husband to reconsider his position and be concerned about looking for and getting to know his son. Although he initially didn't like the idea, they went before their Meishu-sama's picture to say a prayer, surrendering all negative feelings to God and Messiah Meishu-sama. After a few days, her husband expressed his strong desire to see his son, and it was then that she asked him to prepare the trip to South Africa in his search, leaving everything in God's hands. Because that way everything would go well, since he didn't know where or how to find his son. Arriving in South Africa, he stayed with a longtime friend and they went looking for his son. On the first day, he couldn't get any clues. That's when Sandra directed him to pray once more and reminded him that he was on a mission. On the second day, he met his son's mother's friend, whom he talked to, and she gave him a phone number so he could contact his son, thanks to God and Meishu-sama. Her husband managed to talk to his son, with whom they had an emotional encounter. His son, now an adult, thanked him for having looked for him, as he didn't know who his father was, nor did he know where to look for him. His son introduced him to the family he had already formed, and on the third day, Sandra's husband returned home very happy. Shortly thereafter, his son announced to his father that he was getting married, but as he was available to attend the ceremony, he was not available, the son would send him the photos. The son, after some time, got in touch once again with his father and said that after their meeting, his life was completely transformed. He, who was renting a house, was allowed to buy a house of his own, which made his father very proud. To express their gratitude for these blessings, Sandra and her husband made a special donation of gratitude. With this experience, she learned that to be happy, we need to make as many people happy as possible. Sandra is very thankful to the Supreme God and Meishu-sama for allowing her to serve in the divine work together with her ancestors. And another experience I want to share with you is from Patricia Cel Lima. She's from the Ribeira do Pombal Johrei Center in Bahia, Brazil. Patricia is 28 years old and she gives service as a youth leader. In preparation for the monthly service dedicated to the youth movement that took place in April of 2020, she made every effort to ensure that the youth members of her Johrei Center were allowed to a pilgrimage to the sacred grounds of Guarapiranga. At the start of the pandemic and consequently the postponement of the service, she became very sad and disheartened. She had been unemployed for about a year, which made her even more pessimistic and with low self-esteem. She sought guidance from the youth coordinator. This one said that her efforts were not in vain, because everything we do with love and sincerity for God and Meishu-sama is registered in the spiritual realm. She continued to fulfill her mission, assisting online the youth members, praying with their names on the altar, and seeking to connect them to Meishu-sama through the basic practices of our faith. In June 2020, she was surprised to receive an email from a company where she had participated in a selection process prior to the pandemic. In the message, her documentation was requested to take the job vacancy. She considered this achievement a great miracle. How could she imagine that? At such a difficult time, she would be hired with a good salary, a formal contract, and the right to various benefits. For the monthly service dedicated to the youth movement held in April of that year, she received the mission to enroll people for a virtual pilgrimage group. Once again, she did her utmost for this dedication. A few days before the celebration, she had the joy of receiving a message from a member she helped to fill out the form for the virtual pilgrimage, saying that she had dreamed of her mother, who is already in the spiritual realm. In the dream, her mother thanked Patricia for having enrolled her daughter and congratulated her on her dedication. Patricia was very moved. This solidified her conviction that one's dedication becomes light in the spiritual realm. Patricia is very grateful to God and Meishu-sama for these blessings. And more than ever, she can say that sincerity in serving has transformed her life. Currently, she continues to assist the youth members, encouraging them and trying to keep the flame of dedication burning in them. Thank you very much for listening to these experiences. I wish you a very wonderful day. Thank you very much.
This brings to a conclusion of our morning service. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a blessed day.